Welcome to the third of 3 vehicle finance unit videos. This is about leasing a car. Leasing a car could be considered renting. You do sign a lease agreement. You sort of can rent the car for anywhere from 1 to 5 years, and then you can bring the car back to the dealership. And it's great for people that want to constantly drive new cars. They get to only pay for the depreciated value. They don't have to pay for the full amount of the taxes. Oftentimes the lease monthly payment is lower than what a loan would be, especially for luxury vehicles. So it makes a lot of sense for business owners to lease. And like 20 years ago, it was a big ripoff. But nowadays, it's a viable option where you're not sort of throwing money away like you were, let's say, 10 to 20 years ago. So here we have a car. We've driven it now for 2 years, and we're bringing it back. So you've paid all this money over the last 2 years, but you just give back the car, and they keep your money, and if you've overdone it, they'll charge you. So they will charge you for broken windows, for stains, for dents, and all of that. Of course, not normal wear and tear, but here we drove over our kilometer allowance. So we want to find out how many kilometers was I actually allowed. And this is the type of lease that you get. You can get a low kilometer one, or 20,000 would be about average, 20,000 per year. And you drove it for 2 years, so you're allowed 40,000 kilometers of driving. But you went over that. So we drove it 61,000 kilometers, and we compare that to the 40,000 kilometers that we're allowed. So that gives us 21,000 over. So we're going to have to pay for that because that is extra wear and tear on the vehicle. The dealer can't sell it for as much as they'd like to now. And so we're going to have to get charged 18 cents for every kilometer that we're over. So let's look at that, 21,000. And every kilometer we get charged 18 cents. Notice that I'm not using the actual cents value. If I put an actual number 18 here, my final answer is going to be huge, and it'll be in cents. So I don't want to do that. I want my answer to be in dollars. So I'll show my value in dollars as well. Ouch. This is the main reason why a lot of people continue on with their lease. They have leased it for 2 years, and then they have to pay $3,700 when they bring the car back. So, I mean, why would anybody want to do that and not have a car? So that's where some people go into the buyout mode. So typically you're able to lease the car for a certain period of time, and then you can choose to buy it or walk away and start a new lease. Here we have a scenario with our new Prius. We can lease it for $600 a month, and then after, and this is a 2-year lease, so after 24 months, we can decide if we want to buy it or not. So this is just kind of taking the edge off of the depreciation. We've got a $2,000 cash down payment. They're going to definitely take that. The lease payment is considered it's like a rental. It's a service. And so the lease payment itself will be taxed. Ooh, I can see where I can't see all this. Let's just try to do what we can here. Okay. So we're going to have to start off with an after-tax lease payment of this $600. It's not only $600, and we're going to assume that we're in Manitoba. So we're going to take 100% of the lease payment, and 12% tax. When you put that into your calculator, you're going to go straight into your final answer. That says that even though the advertised lease payment is $600, after tax, it'll be $672 every month. So what is our cost to lease then? Well, first of all, we have to spend $2,000. They want that down payment. And they're going to want 24 or 2 years worth of $672. So we've got to pull that answer down into the next step. So based on BEDMIS, make sure we're not doing this addition first. We want to do this multiplication first and then secondly do that addition. So we'll pay $16,128 in monthly lease fees. So we're going to pay $18,000 in total to lease. We can pay $18,000 and give back the car. I don't want to do that. And so we have an opportunity to buy out the car for $31,000 plus tax. So the buyout amount is never taxed. You always have to add the tax onto it. But they're telling us they can actually get us a loan for this buyout. Rather than taking a loan right from the beginning, we'll get the loan for the buyout. It'll be less. It'll be over 5 years, and they're saying that loan will be $550 every month. So just going to remove that question there. You can always rewind the video to take a look at it. So the cost for the buyout is the value of the loan. So we had a 5-year loan, which is 5 times 12, so 60 payments of $550. Notice that there is no tax on a loan. And it's not that it's no tax on a loan, it's no tax on the loan payment, where here we did need to tax the lease payment. The tax is on the vehicle, the bank paid it, and now we're repaying the bank. So it's not like we get away without paying tax. So let's find out how much we're going to be spending here. We're going to spend $33,000 on repaying the buyout. And so let's take our two values. The cost to lease and the cost to buy out. When we add those two values together, that'll be our total cost to lease and buy this vehicle. Which isn't so bad if we're got a $43,000 car. So it costs us $51,000 in the long run. So some advantages to leasing are that the monthly payment might be lower than what a loan payment might be. Again, some people like to look at the vehicle and test it out before they commit to it. But there's a lot of folks after they've spent $18,000 and they love the car, they find it hard to walk away from the lease, so they end up engaging in the buyout. Every scenario is a little bit different, so really just go through your question and take a look at the keywords. Look at the samples that are in the notes and in the examples.